Terminal 4 Secret, the investigation no one was meant to see. At exactly 2:17 a.m., every system inside Terminal 4 briefly shuts down. Not a full blackout. Not a power failure. Just enough, for something to move unnoticed. Security logs show motion. Thermal cameras show nothing. And yet, ground crew members refuse to walk these corridors alone anymore. Because whatever is inside Terminal 4, doesn't appear on cameras. But it knows you're there. The illusion of safety. Airports are designed to be controlled environments. Every movement tracked. Every passenger recorded. Every system monitored down to the smallest detail. Places where chaos is engineered out of existence. But Terminal 4 doesn't follow those rules. Behind the polished floors and glowing flight boards, there exists a hidden layer of this structure. One that doesn't appear on public maps. Restricted corridors. Soundproof underground tunnels. Abandoned service zones. Places where even experienced staff hesitate to enter after midnight. Because over the last few years, something has started happening here. Something that no official report can explain. Echoes in the hangar. It started with small things. At least, that's what the official reports say. In early 2025, a routine night shift technician logged a minor anomaly, unidentified footsteps detected near Gate 42. At first, it was dismissed. Airports are noisy places. Machines hum. Metal expands. Systems click. But then the reports continued. Different workers. Different nights. Same location. Footsteps. Always footsteps. Not random. Not chaotic. Measured. Consistent. As if someone was walking with purpose. Then came the footage. A short, internal clip leaked from a security archive. Timestamp, 2:17 a.m. The corridor outside Gate 42 appears empty. Fluorescent lights flicker once, then stabilize. And then a shadow moves across the wall. But there is no body casting it. No person. No object. Just movement, without a source. Within weeks, multiple ground crew members reported hearing voices over radio frequencies. Not interference. Not static. Actual voices. Faint. Distorted. Repeating phrases that couldn't be traced to any active channel. One operator described it like this: it sounded like someone trying to speak, from very far away. Like they were trapped, behind the signal. But the most disturbing report came from the biometric scanning system. A system designed to identify authorized personnel. It flagged a presence. A human figure passing through a restricted gate. The system registered height. Movement pattern. Thermal outline. Everything, except identity. No face. No data. Just a label, Unrecognized Traveler. The restricted zone records. To understand Terminal 4, you have to go back. Not years. Decades. Construction of this terminal began in the late 1970s. At the time, it was considered a technological leap forward. But during excavation, something unexpected was discovered. Human remains. Not one. Not a few. Dozens. Buried deep beneath the foundation. Officially, they were relocated. Quietly documented. Quickly forgotten. Construction resumed. But workers began reporting strange occurrences almost immediately. Tools going missing. Lights failing without cause. And one incident that was never publicly acknowledged. A structural collapse during late-night construction. 3 workers trapped underground. Rescue teams arrived within minutes. But when they reached the site, there was no one there. No bodies. No signs of escape. Just empty space. Years later, during a 2022 expansion, engineers uncovered something else. An old service tunnel. Sealed off. Not part of the original blueprints. Inside, they found markings. Symbols etched into the walls. Not modern. Not industrial. Something older. And then there's the story of the lost flight. A flight scheduled decades ago. Delayed. Then cancelled. But according to internal records, it was never officially grounded. Its passenger list still exists. Names that, according to some workers, occasionally appear on digital systems. Not as data corruption, but as active entries. Checking in. Boarding. Waiting. Technical glitches. Or something more. Modern airports rely on precision. Every signal calibrated. Every system synchronized. Which is why what happens at Terminal 4 shouldn't be possible. Every night, at almost the same time. 2:17 a.m. Minor system disruptions occur. Not enough to trigger alarms. But enough to be noticed. Flight boards flicker. Radar signals briefly distort. Communication channels experience unexplained overlap. Engineers initially blamed electromagnetic interference. A known phenomenon. But when they mapped the interference patterns, they found something unusual. The disturbances weren't random. They were localized. Concentrated around specific points, Gate 42. The underground corridors. And the sealed tunnel discovered in 2022. In one recorded incident, multiple display screens across the terminal flickered simultaneously. For less than a second. When they stabilized, a sequence of letters appeared. Not scheduled flights. Not system codes. Names. A list of names. Cross-referenced later with archived records. Every single one matched passengers from the lost flight. Studio Microphone Chapter 4, The Psychological Perimeter. Not everyone believes in ghosts. In fact, most airport authorities strongly reject the idea. They offer alternative explanations. Fatigue. Stress. Environmental factors. And to some extent, they're not wrong. Working night shifts in isolated environments can affect perception. Soundproof corridors distort audio. Low-frequency vibrations can trigger unease. The human brain fills in the gaps. 6,560. Across different individuals. Different roles. Different time periods. All describing the same things. Some workers have started leaving small objects in restricted areas. Symbols. Charms. Personal items. Not officially sanctioned. But quietly accepted. A way to keep the peace. One technician described it simply: you don't have to believe in it. You just have to respect it. Final descent into the truth. In early 2026, during a scheduled maintenance shutdown, a private investigation team was granted limited access to Terminal 4. Their goal: to document everything. They installed independent recording equipment. Thermal cameras. Audio sensors. Motion detectors. All isolated from the airport's main systems. 4 hours, nothing happened. Silence. Stillness. Normality. Until 2:17 a.m. Every device activated at once. Motion detected. Temperature dropped. Audio spikes recorded. And then. Footsteps. Clear. Measured. Approaching. One investigator later reported seeing a figure at the end of the corridor. Standing still. Watching. When they moved closer, the figure disappeared. But the audio recording didn't stop. Because in the final seconds, something was captured. A voice. Clearer than any before. Whispering a single word: stay. The unanswered question. Today, Terminal 4 remains fully operational. Flights depart. Passengers arrive. Everything appears normal. But behind the scenes, the reports continue. Quietly documented. Carefully ignored. Because shutting down an airport is not an option. So the question isn't, is Terminal 4 haunted? The real question is, what happens when thousands of people pass through a place where something never left? Next time you find yourself waiting in a quiet airport terminal late at night, listen carefully. Watch the shadows. And if your name appears where it shouldn't, don't follow it. Because some places aren't meant to be understood.